Well, good evening, everyone. Special night here in Osceola County. Get to hang out with some smart folks, and we didn't give you a lot of warning, but this will still have great content. We're just going to kind of start off casually, then we'll make it official in a minute. So, Andrew, Bill, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing very well, sir. Thank you for having us this evening.
Yeah. Glad to have you on this slightly chilly night here in Central Florida.
It'll be our coldest night so far. For sure.
Yeah. I know that I believe I'm correct. You guys are part of the assistance that takes place with or support that takes place over on Ohio Avenue in St. Cloud with the First United Methodist Church sets that shelter up, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we did a little change up tonight, so we were able, with partnership with City of Kissimmee, we actually put some in rooms the last couple days over at Hotel Uno. So we moved operations over there for the next 2 nights, and they've got 40 rooms being utilized over there. So,
it's unfortunately, and I include myself, it's so easy to take it for granted, that you're not going to be chilly, and you forget that 10, 12 hours of chill.
Right.
It's a tough thing to get through for sure. But so that's a good thing. Thanks for doing that. You always step up and make sure your community is good to go. I think we should probably get right to it. We'll make it official with a little coffee moment, and we'll get right at it. Well, again, official good evening to both you guys. Let me do the real introduction. That would be we are blessed to be joined by Bill Linton, who is the director of the Osceola County Office of Emergency Management, and also Andrew Sullivan, who is the public information coordinator for, again, the Osceola County Office of Emergency Management and Osceola County Fire Rescue. Well, that I think was the hardest part for me the whole evening.
Yeah.
And, the tough stuff's on you. I'm going to make it a point of not talking a lot tonight because you guys have all the information that people need. I'm going to go right at it and just kind of get a quick introduction of why we're talking tonight and why it's important. So we have a big county. Osceola County is a big county, and as we've all been living for now basically almost a year in most of this. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly hit us in ways I don't think we could have imagined last March, maybe, even definitely February. And so we have a vaccine, which is a wonderful thing and not a simple thing to communicate to people, although you have done a ton of communicating. It's just one of those things that's challenging in our busy lives and complicated by COVID. So tonight, and however you guys want to structure this, we're going to share some information with the community as far as vaccinations, how accessible they are, and what are the best methods for people, no matter what the ages are, how they can go about getting themselves and their families safe. So whoever would like to start it off.
Sure. Great. I'll start off again. Keith, thank you for your partnership. We couldn't do it without you. It's a team effort here in the community and also serving our county. And I have a special announcement at the end of the show I will let our viewers know about. I do want to let a little cat out of the bag that we'll know about for Friday, but I want to share with the public that's watching too. But yeah, thanks, Keith. And we've had a great partnership, working unifiedly with Department of Health and our partners in the EOC, but predominantly with DOH on this. And as we move into the vaccine scene, so we're basically on our 7th week of allotment with our vaccines here in the county. Basically been about steady normal last couple of weeks with our allotments. Been around 2,900. We've had a couple additional numbers come in too because we were blessed for the governor's office to be selected with one huge church mission at St. Rosa of Lima Catholic Church a couple of weeks ago. We're getting ready to schedule the second dose there on the 15th for those that received their first dose there. That was a little over 621 doses that were given out there. We're working with some other area minority churches to do the same thing. So that's a really a guideline and a task that the government would like to follow as we continue working that. So you'll be seeing that more and more. So those are about 500 shots each mission, and those are run by the state in partnership with us and the DOH. So we're glad that we'll be continuing in our county as well. But our big news that we want to share and really get the word out is our vaccine registration process. So it's going to change up a little. We've partnered with the state on their new what we call share care system, and that can be found at myvaccine.fl.gov. And that is a one-stop shop to register and what we call get in line or get your spot reserved for your first dose. So it's real important there that we get that out. And even if the individuals listening tonight, or if you've got elderly parents or those that are not tech savvy, no concern. There is a dedicated phone number for both those that do not have computer access or for the deaf and hard of hearing. They can also call a dedicated number too for assistance. So really, really good win for us. And moving forward, once those individuals get their first shot, then that'll help too moving forward, scheduling their second dose as well here in the county.
Very cool. Very cool. I know. So if you'd like me to, I guess we can show you the website on that, literally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll make sure that we post that we'll post the other information. I know we're showing the website, but we'll share that information, of course, on the text as well. I think you can pop it right up there. That's the website you're talking about.
Right.
And part of what we're working against here too is that some of our neighboring counties are choosing not to use this service, and we want people in Osceola County to know this is where you need to go to sign up to get your shots in order. So go here. You can see on the screen right now, they've got listed the different categories of folks that are eligible right now to receive it. You simply select, there's a little drop-down option there that says select your county.
Right.
So you choose Osceola, you choose get in line. Now, if you don't fit one of those, if you're not currently eligible to receive the vaccine, if you scroll down a little further,
sure.
You can put in your information. You can sign up to get an alert, a notification when it is available or when there's more information in the future. So this is really the site for everyone. Go hit the site, sign up, get in line, pre-register, and you choose how you'd like to be contacted. So once it's available for you, FDOH, Department of Health, they'll ring your phone or send you an email, however you like.
I think that's now to me that now we mentioned we were discussing that earlier, and that was surprising to me. I did not know that, and I think we're kind of in the communication business, and yet I was not aware of that. And like I said earlier, I think it's there's a lot of information out there, and sometimes it can be some sources are a little less accurate than others, maybe. And I think in defense of everybody, it changes rapidly or has changed rapidly. So this would apply to me. So I'm not qualifying currently as a 29-year-old. I don't qualify to get that shot yet. But to me, that's exciting. And I think most of us have probably had communication amongst close friends and those you work with about when will you take the shot when it's available to you? Will you not take the shot when it's available? Personally, I'm taking the shot as soon as I'm allowed to do so. I can't think of a reason why I wouldn't, and that's my personal choice. Would be day one. As soon as I'm said, hey, when it said you can go, Keith, I'm going. I want to make sure I can do my part to be safe for myself and my family, but also for people around me. So that's my choice. So anything else you want to talk about that people really need to know about this? Because like I said, it's all day TV, all day radio, all day internet.
And definitely, I agree with what you're saying. With people are going to have to make their choices when they get here. Just know that. Let's see, where are we at right now? More than 19,000 of your friends and neighbors in Osceola County have already made that choice, and they're already on board and receiving at least their first dose of vaccine. So this isn't, just a few folks. This is lots of folks that have done it and have done it safely. In my work here, I'm trying to get the message out and get folks on board with this. We were blessed to have a very strong demand for it initially. We're going to work through that. Eventually, the state will meet our needs for vaccine doses. We're very hopeful. So they'll keep that coming our way. And eventually, we'll get to that point where you may want to have a word with your neighbor or your friends down the street and let them know, hey, I did this already. It's safe. I was fine. I know that folks are sharing their experiences on our social media now. Some of the folks are talking about the process that we're talking about today, where you sign up for it, you receive a notification from the health department, you go and get your shots, and many of those are very, very favorable. They go through, they have no issues. So part of what we're trying to do today is to help folks realize how simple it is now to sign up. You don't have to send emails and not get confirmations. You don't have to try to get through on a phone line. It's very easy to do this if you have access to the internet. If you don't, we certainly have, I can give the number right now, actually, if you'd like to just phone in your request for the vaccine. It's simply 866-201-6507. And we also have a relay service, the TTY line, for those that are deaf or hard of hearing, is 833-476-1516. Of course, we'll put that in the text for you as well.
Sure.
So it's very, it's for everyone. We get through this together. I mean, that's the way that this is all going to work, and we look out for one another. And having vaccination is a way to not only protect yourself from contracting this illness, but hopefully a way to help stop it from spreading. So that's the goal today.
And so the basic consensus, if I'm correct, is that obviously there's a lot of talk of variants, and I understand what Dr. Fauci said. The best way to prevent variants from continuing on and making their way through the population is for people to get vaccinated and to end this thing as best we can, as rapidly as we can. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
That's right.
So I guess I'll share a bit of what I shared earlier with you guys, which is, and maybe as a testimony to how this can be done and how safely and simply it can be done. My mom had her first shot, and then when time came, she had her second shot just yesterday. And like I said, she's 90, and she's a trooper. But she just, she had planned to take that shot when she said, as soon as I can, I'm 90, I want to see my grandkids grow up, and I'm taking that second shot as soon as I can. And that day it came up, she was down there doing it. But like you said, slight discomfort on the second day in her arm, and that's it.
Good deal.
So we're real happy about that. So I hope that encourages other people as well.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bill.
I know Andrew's got a couple tips for those coming to the site that'll be helpful as well.
Yeah. So once you get your information in and you're registered, the next big step is the Florida Department of Health will reach out to you and schedule your time to come onto the site and get your shot. And this site is located off of Parton Settlement Road, so just sort of between Kissimmee and St. Cloud. It's a very central location. And our tips would be arrive as close to the time that you're scheduled as you can. There's, you don't need to be there 2 hours ahead of time, and you should try not to be late, of course. But to keep things flowing smoothly, arrive on time. Bring a form of ID. It could be a state-issued ID card, a driver's license. I think a mortgage or home payment sort of a thing will function properly for that. You'll want to make sure that you're prepared to be on site for some time, maybe up to a couple hours if you need to, just in case. So have fuel in your car, have some water to drink, have some snacks if you need snacks, that sort of thing, just to keep comfortable. They do have portable restrooms that are on site, but some degree of comfort with that, but maybe try not to be able to use those if that's a possibility. And the other thing is, if you're coming for your second dose, you're going to want to bring your vaccination card with you for the second dose. So for all of those, allot some time that you can be there. They do want to monitor you for 15 to 30 minutes after you receive your vaccine, depending on what health information you give them. If you have any allergies or anything like that, they may want to monitor you for a few extra minutes just to make sure everything is fine. And then you're on your way. So it's a fairly efficient process. And once you see the whole thing running, I think everybody will be pretty impressed at everything that they're able to get done there. Moving hundreds of people a day.
Yeah, I was able to be over there to see what they're doing, and it's just really well organized. It was very, I mean, I happened to just by chance be walking by a few vehicles in one of the parking areas, and somebody yelled over and said, "Hey, Keith." And there were a couple of cars that had some senior citizens in there that were extraordinarily grateful. It was a very cool thing to see. I mean, they were ear to ear grinning, just excited to be able to get that vaccine. And for so many, they haven't had any freedom whatsoever. So it is a light at the end of the tunnel for those folks.
So that is the point of emergency management. We sort of plan and plan and plan, and then something awful happens and we spool into life. And our goal is to return things back to some sense of normalcy, to make things whole again. So actually being there and witnessing this, it is almost that hope of a return to something like what we remember as being normal.
Yeah,
so
it's actually a pretty emotional
feeling.
Yeah, it's pretty moving to watch. Actually, you see people really get freed up. And so, what do you say to people? As long as I've got you here now, so what do you say to people that have had their vaccine? And then I've heard in the internet world there that always accurate internet. I have heard some people say this is great. Don't have to wear a mask anymore. I can go hang out with all my friends and my family.
I still need to follow guidelines, so we're going to be at that for a little bit, even though you got your shot, because it still takes about 14 days for this full activation basically in your system to build that resistance. But yeah, we're still going to need to practice social distancing, wearing the mask, and washing hands daily throughout a process now, and until until CDC sees guidance that we meet that threshold of hitting that population in two. So that could be a while, but hopefully now as we see more doses coming in, not only to the state, but it's really, we've talked about this, you'll hear this mentioned on the news. It's really a supply issue right now. It's not a distribution issue. We've got distribution set up so we can ramp up once we get those additional doses or more doses coming in. This week, you'll be hearing President Biden's administration will be opening up what's called the Federal Pharmacy Program. So that's going to open up a lot of our big box pharmacy stores to the program too. So CVS, Walmart, our other chain stores that'll be coming online shortly too. And then down the road here, we're working a great partnership with one of our great partners here in the county with Disney. So we'll have a large site that'll be ramping up too. And that's all dependent on supply. But once supply ramps up, that'll be a large location that'll be able to serve our community and also neighboring counties as well. And hopefully by the time frame, I know we heard good news this week with the Johnson & Johnson. That would be a target for large scale distribution sites like that, because the Johnson & Johnson is one shot and you're done. So that'll be a nice thing moving forward as well.
And so that shot, although it has, from what they're saying, has a lower protection percentage, I guess I'd say, but it does have what I thought was very important. It has the chance of 85% chance of reducing the severity of COVID-19.
Correct. Right. So, and there's still a couple more that are on the market. AstraZeneca, there's a couple other, and then our protection. So you'll probably see a lot more movement as we move through the next couple months and supply chains catch up as well. So that's a good thing moving forward. The more we get out in the community, the more that we can push out to our normal supply chains. And then also through normal medical professions, doctor offices will be able to receive that as well. So that'll help as well.
Awesome. I'm going to show that the website one more time real quick. And that is that's the actual, when you pop in, you see where to pre-register now for the COVID-19 vaccine. And as these two gentlemen explained, if you're not currently eligible, if you're not in the current category that allows you to get that vaccine, you're still encouraged to go ahead and fill this out, and then you're going to get contacted. So that's a big deal. We'll make sure we push that out as well again, because I think that's a big piece of information that, like I said, I was not aware of. Anything else you guys want to share before we close it out?
One other thing with the website that I would caution people. I know a lot of folks like to start their website addresses with the www.
Right.
It's not how you start this one. It's just simply my vaccine. So be cautious when you're going out and seeking this sort of information out. We won't ever ask you for payment information. We won't ask you for your social security number, those sorts of things over the internet or over the phone. So just be careful as you're dealing with things. Sometimes people like to try to make things look official that are not. So if you're ever in doubt, go through the trusted source. You can go through the www.osceola.org and find links that way, or through the Department of Health, their official channels, those sorts of things. Just be cautious. People are sending you text messages from random phone numbers that you don't recognize. No, probably not us. Just be careful. A little ounce of caution, I think, will help you out a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Bill definitely had some big news to end with tonight before we go.
I got a couple of things as we update, and I get updates for the end of the evening. So just to let you know, Keith, and we can share with our group here. So we did over 811 doses today at the site. So that's really good.
Awesome.
That's really in our planning number. Planning number is around 800. So did a little bit over that. So that's exceptional to hit that many targeted population today. Additionally, for those viewing online, I have a special announcement as a member of the Florida Emergency Preparedness Association, which is an association of all our emergency managers statewide. We normally have a conference around this time, but unfortunately, we're going to do a virtual meeting on Friday. Normally have a week of training and then a workshop and then our annual business meeting at the end. We do some awards. Part of those awards are to our community partners, our legislative partners, and some private sector partners. And we were fortunate this year to nominate one of our local very own for an award that is focused on media and a media partnership with emergency management. We were honored to nominate Keith and his team at Positively Osceola for Media Partner of the Year for Florida, for the Florida Emergency Preparedness Association. And Keith, we found out last week, Keith was awarded the winner of that. So this is a statewide award. So we'll officially be bestowing this on Keith and the team on Friday, and there'll be an award to go with that. We'll get in presentation in person and get that out on our social media as well. But we definitely wanted to make a special announcement tonight too, since we were with Keith tonight, to honor him as well and thank him for his partnership. And when we need to get the message out, he's always there for us.
Well, that's coffee cup in the air to you guys. That's awesome, and we're humbled by that. I promise you. I know it's easy to say that and say we're honored, but we really are. And there are a lot of great media partners out there. A lot of people, getting up early in the morning and going to bed late at night, like you guys, and trying to get information to the community. I know I don't want to end without saying something about Bianca or Jeremy Lanier for sure over at the Florida Department of Health in Osceola County. Those guys, you and those guys all together are providing, honestly, you're providing great information, and that's what we need, to try to help you get that way. So thank you. We're honored big time. There are a lot of great media agencies and outlets out there doing some great work. So we're super honored and way surprised to get something like that. So thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. Yeah.
But now we really got to be on top. We got to really be on all these shows available to you now. Well, I tell you, this is we're probably in this so much that sometimes it can get numb a little bit with the data information. But in reality, I think my mom called me 10 times, just saying she would be I'm feeling really super fortunate, to be able to get this. And I'm like, well, you're 90, you're on the upper echelon, and she's like, she just feels great about it. So you guys have a part of that. So thank you very much.
Glad she got it. Yeah. Glad to help.
Cool thing. It's a cool thing. It'll be in the rearview mirror at some point, right?
Right. Exactly.
All right. Anything else? If not, we can close her up.
I think that's it. No, thanks
Just
again.
a big thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you to you guys again. Super honored. And it's a humbling thing. So thank you. And thanks for providing all this information. It's great. And like I said, some of it I was not aware of. So we'll try to do our best to get that out to everybody.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
All right,
Again,
thank
this is Keith with Positively Osceola. I'm here with Bill Litton, the director of the Osceola County Office of Emergency Management, and of course, Andrew Sullivan, the Public Information Officer for the Osceola County Office of Emergency Management, and also the Osceola County Fire Rescue. Working hard out there, you guys. Together, we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Good night.
you.